Hi, and welcome to the Fluid Voice. I am, as always, Ozma in the Dark, still doing my best to use she, they pronouns for undisclosed purposes. As always, is Christy. How are you?
I'm well. I'm not doing my best. I'm just doing. Rocking the she her pronouns for well, unfortunately, because Twitter got a disclosed picture of me. You know.
Yeah, and by the way, Peter, people need to help Christy out.
Yeah, I got ditched. I got ditched from my main account has been ditched from Twitter, and I've been fighting it, but apparently since I called someone cisgender, I'm considered a hate site now.
Yeah.
And plus somebody uploaded a somehow got a hold of a booby picture of me, which I absolutely did not upload.
Yeah, and Perfict, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Nobody's got any booby pictures of me.
Still using... oh, go on.
Yeah, still using he, him. Because I'm pretty vanilla.
And we have guest co-host Sophia. How are you doing, Sophia?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Still using she, her pronouns?
Yeah.
Yes, and our guest has not arrived for some reason. She may arrive. So hopefully she'll arrive soon.
Well, she hasn't responded to any of the messages I've left.
Yeah, and my brain is just like, I better not have done that thing, like a weird thing where I mixed up Eastern and Central time or something. Because that would be bad.
Yeah. Well, she's on the same time as you.
Yeah, I know.
She's from the Twin Cities. She lives in
I know.
the Twin Cities.
Yeah. So,
and it's a shame because she's my trans mum.
Yeah. So hopefully.
But if you're wondering who we're talking about Tempest Crane.
Yes.
And I've already bagged an interview with her on my channel.
Bag one for me too, because I like her. So.
Yeah, and she is a good person, and from everything I've figured out. So I don't know if it's a sleep thing or if she slept through or what. But
so am I allowed to refer to myself as cisgender, or is that now hate speech?
You are cisgender.
Yeah, but like, is it hate speech now based off the Twitter guideline?
It's not a Twitter guideline. The Twitter guideline is actually quite the opposite. So the person who is upholding this is going against their rules.
Yeah, I know. It's that's its own bullshit. But that being said, we should at the very least get to the subject. But before we do, like, comment, and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Throw links at your friends, whatever. Yeah, that's the day. That's the day this is. I am just...
Before we start, it took me 20 years, but last week I finally managed to watch the whole of Warren Beatty's Reds. I'm just throwing that into the mix.
Wait, what?
Warren Beatty's movie Reds, which was an Oscar-winning...
Oh, never seen it.
Which was an Oscar-winning bloated piece of shit, if I remember correctly. But... It's worth watching. It's worth watching, yeah. Which is the best I can say about it.
Well, anyways,
we should.
I don't know why I said that. I just did. Anyways,
yeah. Music.
And we watched the Lego Movie.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool.
But trans and music. So, Christy, you have experience being trans and music.
Me? I've never played. I have nothing to do with music ever.
Yeah, I can tell that.
I came out on stage. I mean, that's not an unknown story because I've told it enough times.
Well, so funny enough, so did Tempest.
So did Tempest?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean, it was known to a few people that that's what I was doing that night. So, but not to everybody, and it was a surprise to nobody who knew me.
Yeah.
Fair.
Actually, Tempest used to play bass in for Venus to Mars. I guess she's quite she's quite well known in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a trans musician.
Before we actually start, can we just?
Well, we've started a while ago.
Can we dedicate this episode to Candy Darling, just because I feel like it?
Who?
Candy Darling. She's referred to in the Lou Reed song, called The Wild Side.
Oh, okay.
Candy never lost her head when she was giving head, which, believe it or not, got past the British censors.
Nice.
Yes, it's not on the American single version. Just saying.
Yeah. That song is good, and it has trans. Okay, I am way too tired. I should probably shut up a little bit more.
Iggy Pop is funny enough, called Candy.
A lot of people. I mean, well, I mean,
and as we all know, Iggy Pop is the godfather of punk.
Well,
I mean, is he?
Yes, he is.
Is he? I
he
don't know much about punk. I am like the least knowledgeable person about music here. I'm just like, they did that techno swing recently, didn't they? 10 years ago.
I might be able to challenge you for that title.
Oh, a challenge, I see. Okay, it's possible. I know it's possible to win that challenge, actually. I'm not of knowing less about music.
I challenge you to a drill.
But yeah, so, like, what was, I mean, there's now becoming a talk with Christy and getting her to mention stuff, since she's the most knowledgeable person here about trans music.
the most famous person that the most famous Candy Darling reference is, of course, Lola. Although Ray Davies says he didn't write it about Candy, although he did date Candy. So, you know. So there you go.
Funny how that works.
Well, yeah. So I for one of the things, yeah, one of the things I had to work out when coming out was what I could still say, because some things I couldn't. And Lola was always in that sort of gray area until I found out all sorts of backstories to it, and none of them were mean. They were all just this is a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be singing the Nowhere Leagues, the anti-Nowhere Leagues, So What, either.
Yeah. I actually had to ditch a couple of my songs until I rewrote the lyrics. So.
It's I mean, that is always a nerve-wracking aspect, and one of the disincentivizers for me going forward in any musical thing for the longest time.
Well, see, the story that most people are people-ish.
Well, most people are people. That definitely is the case.
Our type of people, or at least me and Sophia's type of people, would be Laura Jane Grace, who came out in a song on an album and no one noticed.
I don't really cast Laura Jane Grace as punk.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you cast her as punk or not. That's not the point. She came out on a song and she's like, and she's told the story, isn't it?
But neither do I cast Jane County as punk, and I know she played at CBGBs. Having said that, a friend of mine always reckoned that Jane County wrote the greatest greatest rock and roll lyric of all time. If you ain't gonna fuck me, then fuck off.
Well, Laura Jane comes from the Billy Bragg school of punk, and I know you don't count that as a school of punk, so that's
no. My issue with Billy, my issue with Billy, right, is he's a good bloke. I agree with a lot of what he has to say. It's just, I can't stand his singing voice.
I know, which is why, I have to find ways to torture you. That is why Billy Bragg is technically in the random intros for Rainbow Shelter News, as well as the outro.
Well,
that part is kind of not important to the story.
Yes, sorry.
Whether she's punk or not. I really do find it interesting, because you go back and listen to The Ocean, and it's right fucking there. It's the last song on the last Warner Brothers album. It's right fucking there. It's, if I'd had the chance, I would have been born a woman. My mother said she would have called me Laura, and then she goes into this life she should have had.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens a lot with music.
Laura Jane Grace reminds me more of sort of the dream pop type stuff you had in the 80s here. I actually hear it, funny enough, I don't know why, but I hear a lot of Cure in her.
Yeah.
It's more sort of post-punk indie rock.
Wait, Cure?
Yeah,
I see it. And I still don't think it matters to the story.
I'm trying to remember that band.
She's out there doing her thing, and I commend her for doing that. Okay, I do commend her for doing that, because fuck me, the amount of transphobia there is around.
Wait, there's transphobia?
Yeah.
I had the chance to meet her. 2019, and she said, "Do you want a hug?" And I said yes, and I cried on her shoulder. So, she's important to me.
Yeah, but as I said, there are other trans musicians, people such as
lovely amount of trans musicians.
Well, such as Tempest Crane.
Well, yes, and Venus de Mars, who, funny enough, both are from Minneapolis.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I should know more about music than I do. I am hearing it. Look, does it help to know that only one of the two, the only concert I've ever been to was in Wisconsin? No, it doesn't help.
Well, they
have concerts in Wisconsin.
Well, it was the Limp Bizkit concert in 2004. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. It was Snoop Dogg, Korn.
Of course, they had Korn.
Limp Bizkit was on there at the end, but I was really not into Limp Bizkit at the time.
Limp Bizkit, who started a riot at Woodstock.
What? Oh, the Woodstock 2000 or whatever.
1999.
1999. Yeah.
Fred Durst.
Yeah, y'all are wandering a bit. If you really want to go with the probably most well-known trans artist would be Kim Petras.
Who?
Kim Petras.
The musical knowledge.
Yeah, everybody go look her up.
Well, there's also
I
Wendy
would find
Carter.
it really weird if the music industry has not had people who came out as trans.
Well,
Has
yeah.
this not happened?
I mean, the thing is, the nearest sort of the most commercial, the nearest thing which has been hugely commercially successful was Boy George, obviously. Culture Club.
Yeah, well, fuck
Yeah, well,
them.
like, and no one would go. That's part of it, I guess. People would be like, yeah, so. I mean,
Yeah, but I remember I was 8 years old, and I remember the hysteria that caused. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? You know, when they first appeared on Top of the Pops. You know, mind you, that Culture Club wasn't the first, wasn't the first band they were a lead singer, and they were also prior to that they were in Bow Wow Wow, but Malcolm McLaren sang.
Well, sort of, and also not relevant.
Also, yeah, I did not know about Kim Petras.
I don't know about Kim Petras. I know about Wendy Carlos.
Well, that's because Christy keeps up with modern music as well as old music. She's like my mom that way.
Yeah, well, I'm like my mom that way. So,
There we go.
although I think the most recent album my mom has bought is "Welcome to the Black Parade." So,
My for those who don't know, Wendy Carlos wrote the score for Clockwork Orange.
yes,
Oh,
they based primarily on Beethoven and Bach.
yeah.
And you have, I think one of the even if there's one particular I wanted to find, and I'm scrubbing this list here so I can remember her, which is why I'm looking down, and I apologize because my camera's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'm using my laptop. My camera's over on my PC. When what's her name? Tall black woman from Orange Is the New Black.
Laverne Fox.
Yeah.
When she won an Emmy, everybody went, she's the first transgender woman to win, or transgender person to win an Emmy, which she most fucking well was not.
Yeah.
Right, the first person her name was Angela Morley, who won 3 of the damn things.
Did she? What for?
For scoring.
Oh right, cool.
And it was one of those strange things where her career did not take a hit when she came out. And
Is that because of the
you would, of course you would know her, Sophia, because she's BBC and all that.
Well,
Sorry?
maybe they were making the distinction of winning an Emmy in front of the camera.
Sorry, Christy? What was that?
I said you would know her because of BBC and all that.
What's that meant to mean?
Oh God! Like
I'm a bit stuck. What was it?
She was one of the main composers for BBC.
You live in England, so clearly you know everything that goes on in England.
Oh right, sorry. I'm half as well. It is 1 a.m. here, so sorry, Christy.
No, it's not a problem.
It's just. Well, I'll tell you. The other night, Alice was trying to tell me a joke. She said, "Oh, do you know the score to Mortal Kombat is a Finnish hymn?" I went, "Uh-huh." She went, "That's a joke. Finnish hymn."
Oh, God damn it!
Right.
Okay, I was slow on that.
I'm just a bit slow sometimes. So,
Finish him.
Angela Morley, among other things, wrote the score for The Little Prince and Watership Down. So, and she was married to a woman, which cool. Also,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say Watership Down. The only thing I remember about Watership Down music-wise was that awful Art Garfunkel song.
So did she just win Emmys for her musical composition then?
yeah, I'm trying to re-research this because I had this all jotted down and I can't find the piece of paper where I was doing it.
Okay. But yeah, no, that
You should know better than to
the
trust it
Slipper
to
and the
paper.
Rose
You
and
need to
the
keep it
Little
electronic.
Prince were two of the things where I see Oscar nomination.
One of her first projects on return to public life after transition was she was the orchestrator for Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, nice.
So, Andrew Lloyd Webber being a transphobic dickhead is a relatively recent phenomenon then.
Yeah.
Well, he's a Tory dickhead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the difference.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, there isn't much.
Yeah.
Although Tim Rice has been a supporter of trans rights for ages, so
Nice.
yes.
But
so
yeah, in terms of the
kind of just bopping around, and I should have actually, since this is my area.
well, I mean, so I had Tempest scheduled for today, and I didn't think something would happen, so
We could broaden this out, but I do remember Benny Anderson from ABBA taking, I don't know why, but he wasn't too happy about ABBA's music being used to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I don't understand why LGBTQ people love our music so much.
Did he have no idea how big a LGBTQ following ABBA has? I mean, for God's sakes, my family, my at that point starting to be ex-wife took me to see Mamma Mia for my birthday one year. It's like not so I wasn't exactly hiding anything.
And if anyone watching this has not seen the Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, go see it because it's brilliant.
I can't see everything. Jeez.
Well, actually, funny enough, when they did that film about transmedia disclosure on Netflix,
Oh yeah.
go see that as well.
Yeah, see that.
That was the one film they didn't mention. They didn't mention Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I still don't know why.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they also didn't mention shit.
Transamerica.
That other film.
No, they did mention Transamerica.
Did they? Because I kind of blanked it out.
Yeah, I understand.
At least they used the almanac for that.
I can't think in terms of names of films, so I'm just
you don't
going
watch
to
movies. You're out of that conversation.
look. I watch movies occasionally. I watch the movie that's your favorite movie.
Rockula.
Yes. So, on your recommendation, by the way, but like, that's beside the point. The point is, I did watch that movie, and that is a fun movie to watch. I can see how that can be your favorite. I say, as my current favorite is Detective Pikachu, but that's another story. So, Christy.
So me.
Since you're here, so you came out on stage or whatever. Did anything? I guess what changed for you, or what did you feel like you needed? Did you need to feel like you needed to change anything about your music, or?
I did change my music. My music changed a lot, actually.
Okay.
But the first thing that changed is my band was going to be mine and my partner, not music partner, Margot, have a band, and we had lined up a series of dates for to open for another band, as we were trying, because okay, this is going to sound like bragging. It's not. It's just the way it is, because I'm old enough. I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Personally, I can get headlining shows if I want. I don't generally, but we needed, getting the band to be known. The first thing that happened was that all of those shows were canceled. There was a lineup of 6, and the funny thing is, Margot is out trans, has been since I've known her. I met her on the first day she came out, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So, and I think
but different things, different. Can't deal with different so bad because different.
Well, thankfully, the person who canceled it from that other band, canceled the shows, got fired from the band.
Oh. That's good.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But it didn't bring our shows back.
That's that's bad.
But one of the nice things,
is there thing?
It's just 2 things. 2 of the major shows. 2 of the major shows. I went to the people where it was canceled. I said, "Okay, this is what happened. I came out. The shows were canceled. I want to see if we can work something out." And they're like, the biker bar, the should have netting on the front for beer bottles bar. That was going to be our first place to play. He made sure that we got a gig before the other band. They had an open slot, so we played a week before the other band, which was kind of cool, actually, because he was that pissed off that happened. So, and I mean, there were circumstances, because I was the only cis member of a trans band. Prior was the band that Margot and I were coming out of. I was known in the trans community, so I had a little bit of background. I had a little bit of backup and a little bit of clout to maintain my career as a trans person. Me being the only cis person in a trans band was completely by accident, and it turned out not to be true anyway. So.
Yeah, the only cis person.
Yeah.
Obviously that can happen.
They needed a lead guitarist. They needed a lead guitarist in for a show in 6 days, and they dropped me in. So.
Yeah.
But is there really a thing in the music industry that you can be trans as long as you're static? No,
Yes.
No changing to no transing. You either are trans or you are not.
Well, I think that's changing. Obviously Kim Petras was a change, and
Lord Jane Grace, of course.
Lord Jane Grace paved the way, even though Jane Country's Jane County should have probably been the person to think of. Robin Skinner, and of course this week Demi Lovato.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
it will be sort of a signal of some sort of arrival when someone in the country music industry announces that they're trans.
Yeah, that would be, wouldn't it? You know the old joke. Country and Western is music for Nazis who don't like Wagner.
Well, okay, so like, here's the thing: there is a queer part of the country music scene.
Well,
so,
but we definitely need our own Little Nas X. I will say.
Yeah.
Little Nas X shook a lot of shit up.
To give Dolly Parton her credit, she has always been a big supporter of LGBTQ people.
And they're right now they're dealing with the fact that people are gay.
Yeah, I was going to say there's one thing we haven't spoken about with trans and music, and I guess we've got to. Do you know what?
No.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well.
Written by a transphobe. I'd add.
So there's a few smaller trans country artists.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Maya Byrne right now. Do you have others?
Yeah, I've got a list of them. So I'll link that.
Well,
here, I don't know as much about. I'm gonna link that in chat.
I didn't know Maya Byrne was trans. So there you go.
Wow.
Nice. So, yeah, no, if you didn't know about queer country, well, then you're not an American.
Well, there was also my Christy will remember. It's A Million Dead Cops, right?
Yeah.
The lead singer of I forgot his name is, but I can't repeat what he said. But essentially, there was a bunch of guys. They found out that, you go to hardcore gigs, and Christy, I think you did go to a few, didn't you? Anytime?
Hardcore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of guys rubbing up against a lot of other guys half naked, right? It is, as Henry Rollins, but it is somewhat homoerotic, right? But of course, they all like to pretend they're really macho. Well, the lead singer of Million Dead Cops is he's as gay as they come, right? And they used to call him the F slur, right? And he goes, "Yeah, I am. Do you want to come and fuck me after the gig?"
Yeah, honestly, that is the it's always fun when you see dated stuff in television or movies or whatever. I'm looking at you, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, did you see the third one?
Wait, what happened? I only
in the first one, they made a joke, the characters are the stereotypical insecure boy joke where they called each other, instead of calling each other gay, they used the F slur.
Oh.
Yeah, and piece of advice: avoid the third Bill and Ted film, the one they made recently. It's just shit. Yeah, I was going to say Bill Hicks made gags about George Michael being gay back in the 80s. Those haven't aged well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the 80s that has not
Neither is
aged
George
well.
Michael.
Oh, that's rather close to the bone.
Ah, I figured I'd get there before you did.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Oh God.
which I hate, by the way.
You do.
I don't like it. Everyone else likes it, but I don't. It's like ABBA. It's not like I hate ABBA. I'm very.
But what about
ABBA.
Meatloaf?
Well, if you change your mind, I'm the first in line.
What?
But what about Meatloaf in the Rocky Horror Picture Show movie?
Oh yeah, of course Meatloaf was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You're right.
I didn't actually have a point to that. I just have seen, at the very least, clips from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
But I've always
possibly the whole thing.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show, is it trans or is it queer? That's always an argument I would have.
Wait, what?
Well, it's just weird. It's just weird. That's what it's supposed to be.
We can go by what Richard O'Brien has said over the years, which has been different every time. Because he came out anti-trans a little while ago, and now describes himself as non-binary and apologized for that. I actually, when I heard that he was anti-trans, I said, okay, Rocky Horror and Shock Treatment were incredibly important to me, and I'm gonna do one song, and then I'm putting my Richard O'Brien songbook away forever. And I did a song called "Breaking Out," which was about coming out from Shock Treatment. So it was not the song anybody expected me to do, but fuck them. I do what I want.
Yeah. Screw your audience. Who cares about?
Who cares about their expectations?
Who cares about the expectations of the people who care about you? Please don't leave our channel. Subscribe. Did I mention share this to your? Sorry. Go on.
No, the one thing that me and Christy are going to at some point do a video on why punk rock is so important to us.
Yes.
But
Sorry.
It's been important to a lot of trans people.
Yep.
And there is a reason for this. It's because punk was about being yourself and fuck what anyone else says. It really
and
was
BDSM gear, but worn as fashion.
That was Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood's sort of take on it. If you actually want to know where, I'll tell you where Malcolm McLaren got the safety pin idea, right? It's because he went over to America to manage the New York Dolls, and he saw all these guys hanging around CBGBs, and they were like using safety pins in their trousers. What he didn't realize was that the reason they were doing this was because they were piss poor and couldn't afford to buy new trousers, which were ripped, so they were using safety pins in them.
Yeah.
I've never cared about punk fashion one way or the other, but
no.
You have obviously Pete Shelley of the Buzzcocks, one of the first major rockers to be openly gay or openly bi.
And who sadly, passed away a couple of years ago.
Yes, and of course I covered a couple of those. Well, the first song, just for the record, because I mentioned my band, the first song we did at that first club was Homo Sapien. The slightly more punkish version, but
not Orgasm Addict.
No, it was Homo Sapien because think about it for a second. It was the perfect song for the situation.
Yeah.
I changed a couple of the words, but
for those who don't know, the Buzzcocks.
Wait, why am I hearing like a double?
I don't know.
I hear like a crackly version.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. Oh, no, it's gone.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, the Buzzcocks wrote a song about wanking. It's called Orgasm Addict.
Yeah, but it was a silly song, and Chuck Berry had already had Maggie Lane, so
Yeah.
I don't take it very seriously.
Actually, the more serious song about being bi was written by Howard DeVito when he formed Magazine. Shot on both sides.
Well, obviously, the original version of not obviously, there is speculation that the original version of the Buzzcocks broke up, not for differences, but for Pete and Howard breaking up.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
It's speculation, and I'm not putting it as fact, and I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors. Speaking of gay people,
Well, we know Boy George was having an affair with the drummer in Culture Club, and that led to the breakup of Culture Club. And also the I forgot what his name is now, but the drummer in Culture Club was the original drummer in The Damned. Yes, but no, but also the original drummer in Adam and the Ants / Bow Wow Wow. So there.
Christy, you wouldn't happen to have like
since I was going to bring it full circle from the beginning.
I'm trying to figure out the mysterious noise. Christy, you wouldn't happen to have like the video open on your phone or something?
I have a video.
Or no, wait, no, that wouldn't explain it because it wouldn't be real time.
It started for a second, a video that while I was looking through a list.
No, it wouldn't explain it. It would have to be like almost Zoom open. Zoom, the voices in Zoom occasionally getting picked up by one of our mics. One of you.
Well, I'm wearing headphones.
Well, I am one of them, so. But I'm one of the good ones.
Okay. That's fine. It's only an occasional thing. I'm just ultimately
it's speaks.
There is
Yeah.
I will talk a little bit more about Buffalo's trans musician scene. The day before not lockdown, but the thing that happened last March. Quarantine. The day before quarantine, there was a benefit concert that they pared down at the last second to only major members. It was for Planned Parenthood, and all of the artists were trans.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was kind of strange. I got to I thought I knew everybody who was trans in the music business around here, but so there's a big trans music scene here. Well, obviously I was in a trans band, so and I still am, where 3 of us are trans and 1 of us isn't.
Well, that's like this show. 3 of us are trans. 1 of us isn't trans.
Well,
as far as we know.
Oh my god! Look.
Yes.
Not everyone who is
like
ally. Not every ally is secretly trans. I get it. But a lot more people are accepting of trans people than used to be. So it's just, you can't go by that as likely. You can't. That's less likely to be the case now than it was in the past.
Well, I mean, it's a bit off the subject, but trans allies, I mean, I still scratch my head sometimes as to why Dusty Smith is such a great ally. I mean, he is. You think everything, he's from the South,
So,
well, yeah.
oh, Sophia, could you turn your volume down slightly?
Turn myself down, huh?
Just a little, just a little.
That's the worst. That's the worst part of masturbation is the days you had to turn yourself down.
Any better?
It really screws with the ego.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I think that because what I think is I'm guessing is happening is because most of the time when you talk, it's probably not getting picked up by whatever it is in Christy's laptop that picks up noise.
No, I'm just surprised. That's all. But I'm pleasantly surprised that Dusty is such a great translator.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit because I'm also causing that.
So it was a lovely night, but we all got to kind of move together for one last night before we had to go home and not make any money for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I tell you, well, it's talk about. I tell you, the as soon as the lockdown happened, I remember the Dropkick Murphys did a stream. And it was a really good performance as well. I've got a copy of it.
Okay. Oh, my Zoom just closed. Let me not. Wait. Where are you? There you are. Hello. Okay. One of the bands I would love to promote because I think they're awesome and they are awesome, and I also think they're awesome because they are in fact awesome.
I see you're relatively eloquent when it comes to
If this band is
speaking
named
when
awesome, this is just going to get too weird.
No, it's a classic eloquent way of trying to fill up the space while you're thinking of what the exact person that you're trying to reference.
No, this was kind of what this was doing was overdoing by repetition for the sake of proving a point.
Oh.
So, which is what I'm more likely to do than the other. And I do it frequently, so I'm surprised y'all are not used to it. But
well, I mean,
there is a band called Sarah and the Safe Word, who are cabaret punk, and they are spectacular and awesome, and I will promote them every chance I get. Sarah Rose is non-binary. The bass player is trans. Guitar player is gay. Everybody in there is LGBTQ of some sort or another.
Oh,
every member of the band, and there's 7 members. So
that reminds me. Do you remember Christy or be old enough?
Hold on.
Sorry.
They have a song which I've been trying to get Sarah Rose to say whether or not it actually is, but this first song I heard of theirs was one that many people have probably heard but don't know what it is, because it was on the end of like a million view video, and we just used a chunk of it. But there's a song called Louisville Shuffle, which has the wonderful chorus, which is "Rest in peace to the me that you have in your head," which is I've put that as the perfect thing to say coming out, and I've been trying to get Sarah Rose to say whether or not she meant that's that or not, but the video certainly replicates it. So there. Okay. Louisville Shuffle by Sarah and the Safe Word. Please go.
Okay.
Listen to it. Please go listen to it, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
1 hour.
Tempest has gotten back in contact with me, so she has she managed to forget and just get back from other stuff.
Yeah, I just tried to call her because I know she saw my message.
Gotcha. Okay. So can hop on in.
Yeah,
hold on.
What? No, I just mentioned that she can hop on in. Like she.
Yeah.
What?
The line "Rest in peace to the me that you have in your head" is so perfect.
Oh yeah. I just meant our guest can hop on in if she wants.
And it's there are very few lines in music that I wish I had written. The criteria for which I had written means that I could have written it, and that's one of them. Because I've often said around the house when they say, "Well, you do this," and I'm like, "No, that was someone else."
Yeah, I weirdly had this thing where I got mistaken for. People were like, I got asked if I looked familiar, I guess, to a lot of people for some reason. I don't know why. I'm like, I don't know you. This is shortly after high school or whatnot.
Okay.
I don't know where Sophia went. Well, whatever. Anyways,
I probably am saying it wrong then, because when people are expecting a reaction that Christopher would have given, that's not the reaction they're getting from me. So when they, anticipate what I'm going to do, it's like, no, that really was someone else. That isn't.
Oh yes, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So rest in peace to the me that you have in your head, or it switches from have to had, which also good wordplay. That's something I do in my songs is I'll switch one word in the choruses.
So Tempest will be on in a couple minutes once she gets things set up, which will be good. It was just unexpected mishap type stuff. I'm glad I didn't try to shorten the show. Is suddenly a thought that went through my head, but yeah.
Me being raised as a boy is an unexpected mishap.
Yeah, I forgot my necklace to put my necklace on when I changed shirts because I wanted to make sure I was wearing a different shirt because I couldn't remember. That was my mishap.
Oh, there's Sophia back.
Okay,
Right,
Sophia's back.
I've got some good news.
Yeah, no, I know. I was also talking with Tempest through text.
Well, my broadband went down for a minute or so. So.
Oh, that's not good news. That's bad news. Your broadband going out is a bad thing.
Well, it's back now.
Oh, that's good news.
Yes. And I phoned Tempest and she said, "Give us a couple of minutes, and she'll be on."
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome, as it says in the Lego movie.
Yeah, the Lego movie clearly.
Yeah, well, you've seen it. You said you saw it, didn't you, Christy?
Yes, and I don't watch movies twice, but I did with my stoner, with the friend I was staying with out in Portland, because.
Did you like it?
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It.
It's a great movie.
I'm sad. I'm sad at the way the credits have to work, so that the people who actually wrote the song, everything is awesome, don't get credit for it. But it's nice to know that they at least know.
I think I hear like a scratching noise, and I hear you're typing. Christy.
I'm not typing.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No, it's me having a drink.
Oh, that's what the scratching noise was?
No, just the.
Sorry, I'm just overthinking this noise. Sorry.
You're doing the sound technician thing.
By the way, Christy, that's a lovely top.
Oh yeah, my kid got it for me because I will wear black all the time otherwise, and so my kid or my ex-wife buy me things, and I go, "This is lovely. I will wear this all the time," and I wear this all the time. I love this. My second favorite top. I actually did pick out my first favorite, and it was purple. It's not black.
I really like it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, Christy, you were saying something.
Oh, just it's a trying to explain that the Lego movie is not for kids to my kid.
Wait, what?
The Lego movie is not for kids to my kid because my kid was like, "Oh, I hated it." Like, it wasn't for you.
Wait, the Lego movie wasn't for kids?
No.
But everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome at the end. Everything is awesome at the end was performed by Tegan and Sarah, The Lonely Island, and Devo. So
Devo.
Yes.
Nice.
I think Whip Me Good, Devo.
Oh my God! I will never speak to you again after that line.
Like, how is that the only song that you can think of? Why was that the first song you think of with Devo?
Well, so I also remember their cover version of Can't Get Any Satisfaction.
Wait.
Yes. Okay. You're on to their two. No, I'm a huge Devo fan. I'm pissed that once again they didn't make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. None of them are trans. It probably doesn't matter to this conversation. But yes, Mark Mothersbaugh did the music for Lego Movie. Devo did. If you listen to Everything Is Awesome, the one that plays over the end credits, it's definitely a Devo song. And having Tegan and Sarah. Well, they're lesbians, so that helps, I guess. That's sort of on point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like music was also in the title, so
yeah, they sang every version of it, but it was
Okay, someone in chat said it's not whip me good, it's whip it good.
That is why I have now
disowned Sophia.
Oh, please, don't.
I look in the mirror. I look in the mirror every day and say, "Just the girl you want." So, there you go.
Well, Devo also worked with Neil Young, so.
Devo has worked with so many people that it's amazing, and they usually, and a lot of the times, they don't get credit.
Yeah.
Or take credit.
Yeah.
I think Mickey is probably the best known song that they were on that nobody credits them for.
Well, all I can think of now is the only music fact that I do know that relates to movies that I can think of, which is just that Beck wrote the songs, most of the songs for Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes, he did. That's very good.
Yay! I get a music coin.
The Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a brilliant film.
You have watched Dracula now, so you have seen Devo in a crowd scene.
Oh, I forgot.
You wouldn't have not forgot is not really the operative thing here. You wouldn't have noticed unless you noticed.
Okay.
They weren't in a crowd scene as Devo. They were in a crowd scene because Mark Mothersbaugh's wife and Bob Mothersbaugh's kid were in that strange band, the country of the Country of the World, the one song.
Actually, is there a movie that explains truly explains the feeling of having a band?
Is there a movie that? Oh,
Yes, The Commitments. The Commitments.
no. I mean, The Commitments is great, and yeah, it does give the struggle of how to do it. But I think they were going. Oh God, what is a good movie about being in a band?
There's another British film called Spike Island.
That may be closer.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
This Christy, she knows all obscure movie and music references.
It's because I only watch things once and I don't forget them. And
No, it's because you're a deity.
I'm what?
A deity.
No,
Brought down from the aether of music, you have descended upon us mortals.
With movies, I watch movies once. I can actually name every movie I've seen more than once. And it's an odd list, but mostly musicals. About half.
Okay.
Because once I've seen it, I remember it. Lego Movie had so much going on that it was kind of like, yeah, I really should watch it again.
I'm just a little taken back that you saw Spike Island, because that's a pretty obscure film.
Okay.
Yeah, favorite film, Rockula.
My favorite film is Rockula. So yes.
I mean, you can't get any more obscure than that.
Ozma, Spike Island is about a gig which a band called the Stone Roses did back in 1990.
Okay.
The Stone Roses never broke America.
They didn't?
No, not really.
Oh, I didn't know that. I am not entirely. Oh, okay. I'm not entirely as knowledgeable as you would think. The Spice Girls. Well, wait. That's the Spice Girls song. "Wannabe." Their huge hit. The one song everybody knows. The first time I heard it was about 2:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, but
and because I sought it out, I said, I know that the song exists. I know I know the chorus.
If you want to be my lover, gotta first be my friend.
But I didn't know the song, so
da 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 da. Friendship never ends.
It's a strangely constructed song. I'm more impressed with it now, not hearing it with hearing it. I think it's actually pretty
okay.
good.
Tempest should be on about 3 minutes.
Oh, that's
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very much.
So, Christy, did you see 24-Hour Party People?
No, but it's on my list.
Yeah, the story of Factory Records.
The I think you are right. The Commitments might be the best of that group, but nothing has really shown it properly.
Well, my late great mate Owen, always he said to me his brother was actually in a soul band similar, and he said his brother saw the film and just went, yeah, that happened, yep, that happened, yep, that happened.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Spinal Tap isn't too fucking far off either. So.
Do you know, the other day I made a joke to somebody. I said, "Oh, does it go up to 11?" And they didn't know what that was a reference to.
That's a sad.
That is a sad
culture.
I mean, the thing is, every time anyone says Stonehenge, I burst out laughing.
Stonehenge.
But it doesn't go up to 11. It doesn't even need to be a reference to that. It just sort of...
It's a perfect joke.
All by itself is a joke all by itself. That's why they included it in the film, because it was
one of the best lines Christopher Guest ever wrote.
Huh.
Did you ever see Mighty Wind?
I have seen all Christopher Guest movies.
All right.
All
Just go with
Christopher
that.
Guest. All the
Actually,
time.
I bet you own the National Lampoon album. Where
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Where he
Doesn't
does
everyone?
he does that piss take of John Lennon.
Yes. Doesn't everyone?
No.
You are the look of the universe. You have the right to be here. Sorry.
Oh no, perfect. Perfect. It's just gonna be internet in and out day.
Well, no, it's to explain also, but basically John Lennon gave this sort of very spiteful interview to Rolling Stone.
Well, I mean,
what
that
National
doesn't
Lampoon-
surprise me because John Lennon was a bit of an asshole.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, right. So what they did was, Chris, they took the text for the interview and just put it to music.
Oh, okay.
And Christopher Guest sings it like it was John Lennon.
Gotcha.
Imagine.
No, that works. Yeah.
It's I'm going off camera for a couple minutes, so. if it's-
Okay.
I will be-
And it is still open, right?
It is still open.
Okay.
You okay, hon?
Yeah, I'm still sick from coming back, so
All right.
that's all right. I'm happy to be doing this. I've been looking forward to this.
Okay. I have been too. I'll see. Okay, I perchance take things a little bit too literally when it comes to when timing is mentioned, and it's just like given a general, and it's just like, but it's not the exact number.
That's being Aspie.
I mean, I'm not as big of a fan. Whatever. I would say being that's me being autistic, but that's
when I first came to live in this country, right? An uncle and aunt took me to the Science Museum, right? And we were in the cafe, and my Auntie Elsie says, "We'll go in a minute." So I had a digital watch, and I timed it, and I said, "Well,
yeah."
a minute's gone," and she went, "I meant an old person's minute."
Oh well, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And there's no one in. Well, I'm gonna check.
Am I? Okay.
There's
Hello.
Okay, Perfect's back.
Oh, I didn't see who it was. I'm
Hello.
still trying to actually go to the topic.
What, now I'm a disappointment?
Yeah, your disappointment. No, I'm just kidding. Can't
Yeah.
seem to join. Hold on.
Oh. Hello.
Aha! Hello.
As we all
As we all wait, and I guess seems to be working out. Yes, Yes, it is working. Is your sound not working yet, or is it still connecting?
Sound's not working. That's why they've got the mute thing, the red mute thing in the corner.
Oh, she's probably just.
All right.
Oh,
There we
hello.
go.
Hello.
It just took a little bit to connect and everything. So it popped up, and then it took a moment for it to give me the choice to actually unmute or do anything else. So
Yeah,
here I am.
it's
There
a
you are.
complicated.
And
It's a
I'm late.
complicated.
I'm sorry. I'm going to move my camera a little bit.
Yeah.
There's the palm of my hand. Dig it. All right. Okay.
So, you.
Can I, hold on. Can I introduce Tempest, as I'm the one who's known her the longest?
Oh, I see how it is. You need to introduce your coming out mom because you know her the longest. I see how it is. Yeah, no, that's
All right.
fine.
It's a seniority thing. It's a pecking order. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Apparently.
Well,
Well, Tempest.
pecking order means a lot different thing amongst a group of trans people.
Wait, what?
I'm trans, but I come from a little bit different culture than a lot. So, but then again, so do we all. So it's all good. It's all good. I love Sophie to death for having me on this, and I apologize for being late. I'll let Sophie do the interview or the introduction because I'm already interrupting on that. So I'll shut up.
Well, I'd like to introduce people to Tempest, who is my trans mum. She is the trans woman most responsible for encouraging me to come out as trans. Many years ago, she actually spent 2.5 years nagging me to come out.
That was like the longest birth ever.
And Tempest is a trans musician and actress. She's an exceptionally talented individual. She's also a massive Doctor Who fan, which is another reason I love her. I'll introduce you. This isn't actually my show, believe it or not. This is actually Ozma.
Yeah, this is
Ozma, who you already know, and this is Christy Abbey, who's also a trans musician.
and Perfict, the ally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who has been on me, Christy, and Perfict have been on since the start. The former showrunner hasn't been the showrunner for anything, so it's been a lot more of me and Christy running the show. So
And we do not speak her name.
Shall not be spoken of. Okay, we got that.
No, we like her, but she'll show up if we say her name.
So that's
had a bit of a falling out with her, but
I don't have fallings out anymore. I should do that again.
yeah, I know. No, I don't. Well, whatever. First,
I had a fall. I had a falling out.
Anyways,
oh,
Tempest,
wait.
Tempest, you can settle an argument, right? Is Laura Jane Grace punk?
It's not an argument.
That's not an argument. That's a default no.
See, I told you, Christy.
I consider folk punk over to the side to be a brand of punk. So
yeah, that's I can't.
She's in the Billy Bragg branch of punk.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I
go
wouldn't
with,
really consider
Sex
Billy
Pistols,
Bragg
I go
punk.
Cro-Mags, I go Crumbsuckers, I go DRI. I guess I'm from that old school. Well, not like old school, but the
like most of the people here are
New York
old,
punk
so
scene, the hardcore punk scene.
Yeah, me too.
And you know, when I start thinking about that, and I start thinking about Laura Jane Gracie, no, that's milquetoast. So sorry. She makes some great music. She's a decent human being, from what I can tell.
Yeah,
but as far as
that I will absolutely vouch for. she offered me a hug, and I cried on her shoulder for a while.
But punk to me is always been a stand up fuck you to society and the parts of it that are flat out wrong. And she's kind of the fuck you. And that's a little bit different attitude, and it's nothing wrong with that. That's who she is and what she's doing. I'm not making any apology about my stance on it and things like that. But it's not that in your face Iggy Pop being like, you know, drugged through like a field of Nazis type, you know, and him still screaming "fuck you." She's not that kind of punk.
Well, I mean, you have Jane County with Jane County certainly did previously to what is it? Fuck Off was the
if you don't want to fuck me, then fuck off. That was the song.
You don't want to fuck me, then baby, fuck off.
You actually you can't see it behind you. Maybe I can. This is what's behind me here.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Not fuck off.
Yeah,
that's punk to me. It is, you know, Dead Kennedys, Nazi punks, fuck off. You know, and it's not just a fuck off; it's fuck off. You know, it's you have to enunciate the fuck.
My saddest music memory is I was supposed to go to the last Dead Kennedy show at CBGB, and my friends and I all went to buy the tickets, and I kind of got like lost in the stacks, and I bought albums, and I still had money to buy the tickets, and we got in the car and started heading back, you know, and this was while I was in college, so heading back to college campus, and I realized about half a mile away from the record shop that I had forgotten to buy the damn tickets.
Oh God!
They refused to turn around, so I didn't get to see the last Dead Kennedy show, and they did.
I've there was a trans woman.
Wait! They refused to. You got a chance to see the last Dead Kennedy show. The people that were driving refused to turn around, and you didn't lunge for the steering wheel. Are you serious?
I don't know.
There was no attempt made. There was no car accident involved.
Look, this is.
Tell me something good.
Wait, like you have to understand, Christy is very, very nice and calm-tempered, and I don't think is capable of violence.
You really. I tell you stories about Christopher, and you.
Well, yeah, but like that's the past. Don't just.
That's who I was then. I was an alcoholic asshole.
I've been there. I was an alcoholic in my early 20s, almost before I was even legal to drink. I was a full-blown alcoholic for a few years. The way that I got cured from it was watching my roommate at the time. After one of the parties, we'd have like 60, 70 people in like a 2-bedroom apartment, you know, just all night long. And then the next morning, it was a Sunday, I watched... Troy was my roommate at the time. I watched him get up, and he's walking around the apartment, and we're picking up a little bit. We're pigs, but we're not complete pigs, so we're going to pick up a little bit. And I hear, what the hell? It's like he's spitting or something. I look over, and he's just like picking up beer cans. All right. And then I hear it again. I look over, and he's like leaning over the garbage. I'm like, what? And so then I watch him a little bit. And I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye, and he picks up a beer and he swills it around, and then he drinks it, and then he spits out the cigarette butts.
God!
It's Sunday. There's no liquor sales here.
I can't.
And I'm going, okay. I'm done drinking. I am never going to be that person. That is not who I'm going to be. And that's basically how I quit drinking, is because I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah, well, I was that person, so.
Well, I watched my friend, you know, I've already mentioned him on the stream, my best friend Owen. Basically, in the 90s, it wasn't what substances we weren't, what substances we were doing, it's what substances we weren't doing, because we were just doing everything, right? And I sort of survived, but I saw him have a stroke, sink into alcoholic psychosis, and then eventually throw himself in front of a train. You know, and it was one of the hardest things I had to watch because the guy was highly intelligent, you know, but you know, I do know the cost of you know, of substance abuse. I'm lucky to be here. You know, sure, I still do my fair share of drugs, but I think
you must have figured out your balance, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
I'm the milk toast one.
I slept just for the record. I slept on the railroad tracks one night, kind of hoping that would be the case, and no train came.
Well, I'm glad no train came, but yes,
anyways, we have a guest.
Well, I think that we all could have. You know.
Can I just point out we have a guest and we need to talk about her?
Well, obviously. Wait. Sophia, are you talking about you? No, just kidding. Tempest, what got you into music?
What got me into music?
And how did transitioning affect that?
Since I first heard music, to be honest with you, I have always loved music. My first records were a 45 of Johnny Cash, and you know, I can't
good choice.
remember. Well, yeah, something my mom bought me. We lived in Nebraska on a corn farm, along with you know, raising cattle and things like that. So Johnny
Tempest.
Cash is natural.
Could you turn your volume down just a little bit? It's in the settings in Zoom. Just because I think Christy.
That was me. I was thinking of somebody else.
Well, no. It's the problem is Christy's thing. So if you turn your volume down, then Christy's thing will be less likely to pick it up because she's not wearing headphones.
Okay, I reduced the sound.
I apologize. I'm operating on a shoestring. An accident happened with my my desk chair, and all of the cords got cut underneath my desk. So I'm operating on my laptop with no headphones or speakers. Or speakers. So
it's all fine. It's all fine.
I just figured it'd be good for
the
And I'm loud. I tend to be loud. I tend to talk loud. So I play loud. Everything. So. But I think we were talking about the
music. You getting into music.
So I started with Johnny Cash, and
we do.
It was a natural, rebellious sound that he had. I mean, Johnny Cash is considered country, but he's also rock and roll. He crossed a lot of the artists back then blurred the lines between country music and rock and roll, and we're going back and forth between both. And he had that rock and roll swagger and attitude with it as well. Johnny Cash was every bit as Elvis was, maybe even more so on some occasions. But a little bit later on, I think I was in first grade, 6 years old, maybe 7, and my mom belonged to a record club, and she got in this album, and it was Kiss Destroyer. And I knew nothing of real rock and roll. I had no idea. But I was a little kid, and I loved comic books. I still do love comic books.
As you should.
But actually, there's going to be a trans character debuting for Pride Month, so just watch for that.
Dreamer.
Wait.
Dreamer.
Not
okay.
No, Dreamers is just for the TV, as far as I know yet.
No, it's going to be continued in DC Comics.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm not going on that because I have nothing to disclose at this point. But when I saw the album, and it was an LP, old school record vinyl, and I saw Kiss Destroyer with the painted cover of Kiss in their costumes, and they're marching over this flaming ruined landscape. I had to have that. Now, the thing with the record clubs were, if you didn't like the record, you got so long to send it back to the record company, and you get your money back, that type of thing. That's how the record clubs worked back in the 70s. And I wouldn't let my mom send it back. I threw a fit. No, have to have it. I didn't even know what they sounded like or anything. I just knew that Kiss were superheroes on the cover, and I had to have that record. And so I insisted that she keep it. And I learned like all the songs. I was like this little first grade kid in, corn country, Nebraska, running around singing the lyrics to God of Thunder and Sweet Pain and everything else on the playground. And the teachers thought something was wrong with me or something, but it wasn't. And from my earliest exposure to rock and roll, I wanted to be Gene Simmons. Little did I know that, 30 years later in my life, I'd be wearing just as much makeup. But that's another story. But I loved Kiss. I loved the theatrics of rock and roll. I loved the power, the energy, everything with it. And I have had a love affair of rock and roll from the time I was 6 years old until this day, and it will stop the day I die.
And,
or will it?
And Tempest has met Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also met Fat Mike from NoFX.
I met Fat Mike from NoFX, and I didn't know I met Fat Mike from NoFX. He was with Goddess Soma at one of the adult industry awards things. I also do adult video. We don't have to delve into that, but yes, I've been naked on camera, that type of stuff, more times than I can count. But I was sitting with Goddess Soma, who's a dominatrix, and she and I hit it off because we both tend to be doms on camera and that type of thing. We're talking, and Fat Mike is there, and it's really loud at this like pre-party thing, and I can't hear anything anybody's really saying. And Fat Mike is on the other side of Goddess Soma because she's cuter, and I want to sit next to her, not him anyway. But I start talking to him about music and everything, and he asked me what instrument I play, and it's bass guitar, and he plays bass guitar, and he mumbles something to me. I actually asked Fat Mike if he wanted to open for me, I would help him out. Because I couldn't understand. He's like, "What band you?" He mumbled something to me, and I'm like, I have no idea what he's saying. Well, you seem like a nice enough fellow. If you come up to Minneapolis and you need an opener for a show or something like that, and you want to play some shows, I'll get you on the bill. So that was my conversation with Fat Mike. And then I found out later, like I log into Facebook or Twitter or something. It's like, oh, that's who you are, Fat Mike from NoFX. And I was offering you a chance to open for me. Whatever it was.
One of the humble brag things that exist in my world. The reason I started my second channel was just so I could put up a video of me playing with two members of Rick James' band.
Actually, one of my adult producers dated Rick James back in the day.
Oh, nice.
So, okay, well, fair enough.
I mean, everyone's got their thing. I was wondering.
I used to hang out with Natalie Merchant a lot, and so I was exposed to lesbian bars very early. I used to hang out at the lesbian bars.
Yeah.
She thought I would. She said, "Well, you're one of us." Okay.
Whatever works.
Okay. Well, she knew stuff I didn't yet. And then I tried it, and then I said, "Oh, this is great." And then I became homeless and said, "This is not great for being homeless." And then I stopped for years.
Yeah. What I was gonna ask Tempest is, how did transitioning affect you or your musical career, or did it affect it at all?
Before she gets to it, I have to tell you this story. I have told it on my channel.
Wait.
No, it's a good one.
But I just asked a question. Come on, we have a guest here.
Sophie says it's a good story, so let's go. Sophie's good story.
Okay, fine.
No, seriously. Tempest used to have she's had more than one Facebook profiles, and I remember one of them was taken down by Facebook because they said it was too sexualized, because she had a picture of your breasts with tape on them. I think it wasn't that sexualized, but anyways, what I remember about that profile was I was flicking through the photos, and there was this bearded, very pale bearded guy who looked like he didn't get out of mum's basement often. And when I hovered over it, it said Tempest. And I went, what? I couldn't believe the transformation. I literally couldn't.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's been a long journey. But yeah, that was me. I was kind of like a really skinny Lemmy or maybe Scott Weinrich. I wore my masculinity like a suit of armor. I was afraid that people would find out that this was in me. And I was afraid that I'd be ostracized. I'd lose my friends. I'd lose my family. I'd lose my career. I'd lose my music. So I'd lose. That's what I had convinced myself. And it was all a filthy lie. I didn't lose anything. I transitioned. I got the opportunity to join All the Pretty Horses with Venus de Mars and Jendine Forberg. Two very good friends of mine who are still very good friends of mine.
Yeah.
Jendine still plays with me in Harsh Reality and Apocalypse Theater, and we also do other musical things here and there as well. Venus has kind of gone off and done her own thing, but who knows? There may be something in the works that happens later on down the road or something. We'll find out. But I had the opportunity to try out for All the Pretty Horses. And I knew Venus was trans, I knew Jendine was trans, and I knew what the band was about and everything, and I knew what was inside me. This was my doorway. This was my gateway. This is how I could do this. And they gave me a CD with 9 songs on it and a list of songs and gave me 5 days, learn 3 songs, come back in, audition.
Wait, why are you telling my story?
I don't know. Why did you live my life? Were you living my life and you didn't tell me?
I was the only cis member of a trans band.
Okay.
So, and at the same under the same.
This is sounding very familiar. Huh? Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I was given the CD and told to learn 3 songs, given 5 days to do it, and this was my gateway to everything that I ever wanted. A level of fame with the band and touring and going places and recording and being known, as well as an opportunity for me to become Tempest and become who I am. And so I came in for the audition, and evidently it hadn't been going very well. Jendine was there. I knew she was a phenom on drums. And Venus was there, and she was there. So did you manage to learn, one of the songs or, a couple of songs? I mean, we've been having trouble. People have come in and they haven't known any of the music, or maybe they know one song. And I said, this CD right here. And she goes, well, yeah. I said, and this list here, is this your current set list? Because I've been playing rock and roll for 12, 15 years by that time. I knew a set list when I saw it. And she goes, well, yeah, that's the current set list. So did you have a chance to learn at least one of the songs? I said, well, actually, your set list contains 11 songs. You only put 9 on the CD, and I learned all of them. And she goes, what? It's only been 5 days. Well, for 5 days, the only thing I listened to nonstop, every moment that I was awake, was that album. I would practice it every night. All the way through, over and over and over again, until I could barely stand or see. I ingrained that into my mind. And so she goes, well, can you play the first song? Yeah, sure. We roll through that. And she goes, so can you play the second song? She didn't believe me that I had learned all the songs. By the 6th song, she believed me, because I had just basically played everything all the way through every time, and there were no hesitations, there were no questions like, how's this part go, or I don't know this, or when do I come in? No, I knew exactly what the hell I needed to do every time. This was my chance, and I was not going to fuck it up. So I went for it. Venus was a little bit leery. One, I told her that I wanted to transition because I auditioned as a male. And I told her, and she's like, well, this might be a little bit scary for you. You haven't been out. Have you ever been out in public or anything? No, I hadn't. I hadn't done any of that. I had never gone out of my house. I had cross-dressed privately, but never gone out of the house. And,
you and I feel like
transitioning was possible.
Can I say one thing? You and
Yes.
I feel like every time I hear a trans person mentioning cross-dressing in the past, I'm just like, cross-dressing? Because is it really cross-dressing when you dress the
practice.
correct gender?
Well, it is, because it's not how you're living your life at that time. You're crossing over. So it is a
Fair.
crossing.
I
No,
can
yeah,
I can
And
see
because
that.
and it is a crossing because you cross back when you change out of it and go back to your normal life.
yeah.
So
and
it does
it's-
qualify as a cross. So that's
Okay.
fine. And I don't
Fair,
care. I'm
fair.
not going to feel offended for it or anything. It is what it is.
I have,
But
when
Venus
I-
was nervous, and somebody else had auditioned, and Venus was like, well, maybe I should hire this person who's kind of just, one of the binary fluid. I think the person's name was Twink or something like that. And Jendine told me the story about that person's audition. They only knew one of the songs and they didn't do it that well, but Venus kind of had a soft spot for that person and wanted them in. And Jendine says, nope, it's either Tempest or I'm leaving the band.
Oh, God.
And I said, you're either hiring Tempest or I'm quitting. So Venus gave me the shot, and I hadn't become Tempest yet. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. I didn't even have the name Tempest picked out. I was kind of working on it, and like, what is this going to be my name? It was a stage persona I was trying to pick out at that time. I knew it wasn't going to be a stage persona. I knew eventually that would be who I was, but it was still for stage. And I was playing around with a few things, and I decided on Tempest. And we did our first show, and Venus was like, are you sure you want to come on stage as a female? Are you sure you're ready for that? Have you gone out in the meantime that we've done rehearsals? Have you gone out in public as a female? Nope, never been out in public. Nobody's ever seen me except for maybe a stray girlfriend here and there, seen me,
Yeah.
dressed as a female. No, I'd never been out in public or anything. So the first show we did was at First Avenue, the show in Princess Purple Rain movie. And it was opening for Peaches in front of like 800-900 people. And so that's how I came out. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for everybody, but I decided I was either going to come out as trans or I was going to die in flames and be a pile of ash on stage. There was nothing in between. I was either going to do it or I was going to die that night. And I did it. And I am Tempest, and I will always be Tempest.
You missed my story because
I'm sorry.
no, I mean before because a lot of I came out on stage as well. That was
Stage. It's isn't it the most perfect way to come out? Because it gives show business gives a bit of a safe harbor.
Well, yeah, I had two shows. I had two shows back to back, one on a Sunday, one on a Monday, and I knew I was coming out on Monday. There was no question in my mind that was going to happen, but I didn't say anything on Sunday, and so and the person who opened for me was like, "You're all right." I said, "And your set list is a lot different." I was getting rid of all my boy songs. I played all my boy songs so I could just finish them,
Okay.
But with the thing with the trans band just before that, Vera called me and asked me if I would play lead guitar for her, and I said, yeah, sure. And she said, and I thought it was for her solo project, which I was really familiar with, and she said, oh, cool, I'll send you the videos. None of them had a lead guitar player on them, so I wasn't learning someone else's stuff. I had to write all this stuff. I had to write an entire set. 6 days, 2 rehearsals, but it was very strange because I really didn't know it was for her band. I really thought it was for her solo project, and so I get the things and I'm going, oh shit, this is like big. Her solo project was not going anywhere, so I'm like, all right, well. The first time I played as me was a solo show, solo for me, with my songs. including a song I had written about wanting to come out, but I'd changed the lyrics so that that wasn't clear. And I played it with the original lyrics, which was very clear, including the line, "I'm not a man if you, I'm not a man, but you'd want me to be," which was, you know, changed in the intro. "I'm not the man that you'd want me to be."
Tempest, since you are, I guess you've technically spoken the least just by the fact that you've been here the least amount of time compared to the co-host. How has I know you briefly touched upon it, but how has the music industry been treating you?
Well, the music industry is shit as always. I mean, you know, that didn't change at all. I mean, the music industry didn't give a shit if I was transsexual or not. So, you know, if anything, it's opened up doors because there is a curiosity to it. There is a sense of wonder and magic and mystery. And that's what rock and roll should be about. Rock and roll should not be about a bunch of blokes up there dressed in flannel staring at their shoes, singing about how sad their life is.
Oh,
you know,
come
how
on.
miserable it is.
That's most of my record collection.
You know, we don't need any more Creed or... You know,
yeah, okay, yeah. Creed is shit, okay? But, like, Dinosaur Jr. are fucking awesome.
Okay, Dinosaur Jr. is awesome. But I mean, once again, you want to see something that is larger than life when you come to a rock and roll show. You want to be blown away both by the music and by the show of it. You want to see something you can't see in everyday life. Because if you could see that in everyday life, why the hell are you queuing up to pay for a ticket for it? You want something that's going to take you out of your ordinary life. Rock and roll is escapism. It's allowing you to forget your miserable life, your miserable job, you know, the fact that you're working for, you know, not even enough to pay your rent or whatever it might be. And you get to go and you get to transcend all that. Transition it maybe even to a different world for a couple hours and see a concert or a show, and it takes you out of your life. And that is the beauty of music and performance.
My ex-girlfriend, I took her to her first punk show, which she was, you know, us in our 50s in a punk show. Went to see the Dickies and the Queers, and that was awesome. Because the Dickies are a great stage now, and it was a small club, but I had to pick her up several times because she didn't know really how to navigate.
Now, Christy, I don't know that much about you. So, are you from New York, or where are you located?
I'm in Buffalo. I'm in Buffalo.
Okay.
And I'm lucky here because there's a large trans community. It's one of there used to be a trans underground railroad.
We had our own railroad.
Well, you know,
I'm kidding.
There's a lot of people from the South here, a lot of trans people from the South here, because it's the next stop before Canada.
Okay, fair enough.
And the music scene is not great. The story I was telling, I nearly got into a fist fight with Johnny Resnick at a party once, which probably was a bad move.
You probably weren't the only person that almost got in a fist fight. So,
I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised Buffalo doesn't have a big music scene, considering it's a college town.
Buffalo has a huge music scene.
Oh, I thought you said it didn't.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it hasn't had as quite high profile a music scene. I think the last major thing to come out of here was Goldfinger. Or maybe Cannibal Corpse.
Okay.
Depends on how you read it.
Considering all that you said, Tempest, about rock and roll being escapism, considering it's 30 years since Nirvana released Nevermind, what was your reaction to grunge?
Now, my reaction to grunge is different than my reaction to Nirvana. Kurt Cobain knew how to write a hook, and that's something that is rare in music in general. And a hook is something that makes music memorable to listen to. It means that basically 5 minutes after hearing the song, you can hum it back. If I say "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and you think about it for even a second, you can think about that guitar line. You can think about how that flows, because that's a hook and it gets inside your head and you carry it with you. Now, Cannibal Corpse, great band, technically excellent, some top-notch musicians. I can't hum a single one of their fucking songs. I couldn't do it to save my goddamn life. Are they a good band? Yes, absolutely, they're a good band. Do they know how to write a hook? Fuck no. And that's a little bit different.
This is a band I'm friends with, so I do not say a word.
I'm not bashing them. I'm saying, do they know how to write a hook that's easily memorable and something that you can, sing along to the first time you hear it without even knowing where it's going? No, that's not the type of band they are. And that's fine. That does not diminish them whatsoever as musicians.
Oh, no.
Nirvana, though, Kurt Cobain knew how to write a hook, and he was extremely good at it. He would write hook after hook after hook after hook. That's why they had the run of radio hits. Now, grunge came along and took their look and took their image and what they were doing, and they watered it down. Grunge was a photocopy machine from a record company. It was a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone. And the music got all blurred out and mushy, and it was unoriginal. And there were 10 bands that sounded like Pearl Jam or Creed or Temple of the Frog, Dog, whatever the fuck it was. And it couldn't live because it wasn't real. It was just somebody else copying somebody else.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with you with Creed and Day of the New and all those post-grunge bands, Nickelback as well. They're all shit. But I would
you
say
said Nickelback.
You're not allowed to
leave the interview.
You realize you are not allowed to say Nickelback to musicians.
So I was gonna say, I mean, Mudhoney, the Screaming Trees, they were genuine, grunge bands who had, the Screaming Trees Dust album is brilliant. Alice in Chains, for instance, originally weren't they originally were a glam rock band.
Oh, so was Pantera.
Yeah, I know that. The other thing I was going to say about Tempest is her friend Jen Dean. I remember when I first sort of spoke to Tempest, and I knew where Minneapolis was, and I sort of said, and Tempest said, "Oh, I'm originally from North Dakota," and I went, Fargo, and Tempest went, "Oh yeah, the film Fargo depicted the nicer side of North Dakota."
It wasn't entirely wrong though, but yeah, it.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I heard Jen Dean, if you've heard John Torono in Fargo, he has that sort of Scandinavian accent, and I thought it was a put on. But when I heard Jen Dean speak, she does actually have that Scandinavian descent, doesn't she?
Well, she does have a bit of that. She's very Minnesotan. She was born and raised here. I was actually, born in Nebraska. And so I have a few more Midwestern speech habits.
Yeah, but sorry. I was gonna mention, because I'm born in I've lived most of my life in Minnesota. I was born in Wisconsin technically, but most of my life was in Minnesota. Random. I was thinking about the accent thing, but I interrupted you, so that's why I was like,
no, it's perfectly okay. There is definitely a Minnesotan accent. There's definitely a North Dakotan accent. North Dakotan tends to be a little bit more Scandinavian, leaning heavily on Norwegian sounding. and maybe it sounds a little bit like Canadian. North Dakota, the state tree is the telephone pole. State bird's a mosquito. It's. I had a friend of mine that was driving through North Dakota to get to the West Coast. And I'm like, why? Do you not own a map? Why are you going through North Dakota? Well, it shouldn't be that bad. It looks like a nice straight road and everything straight through. I go, yeah, that's all it is. You'll be driving for 11 hours and you'll be like 6 hours in. She calls me up. She's like, yeah, I just got cell phone reception again. There's nothing in this state. Like, yeah. It's been like an hour since I saw a tree.
I remember you telling me that when you grew up in North Dakota, that going to Grand Rapids, was it
Grand Forks?
That's it. To buy a record was like a really special occasion.
It was like a pilgrimage for us to buy a record. I mean, there was the department stores and things like that in Devil's Lake. And yes, I'm from Devil's Lake. That's the name of the town. Our high school mascot was Satan.
Nice.
So, and we didn't even realize it was weird. We totally didn't. We had little blonde cheerleaders bouncing around. Go Satan, go! Go Satan, go! And our team mascot was like this little red devil, and we had like a devil, and our colors were black and red. And I tell people that here in town, like your high school mascot was Satan. Yes, it was. You can Google it. You can look it up online. I'm from Devil's Lake. You look it up back in the 1980s, 1990s. The mascot was Satan. Ironically, the high school burned down in a fire. So I don't know. We can go with that. But we would have to make a pilgrimage to go to Grand Forks. I'm going to adjust my camera again because it's starting to slip. All right, there we go. No, that's too high. All right. Anyway, we'd have to make a pilgrimage to go to Grand Forks, where there were actually record stores, and I'm talking real record stores, not like the mass chains that they had later on that went out of business like in the late 2000s that were never worth a goddamn crap anyway. But the real record stores, the ones that you would walk in and before you even opened the door, you could smell the incense and pot from the outside of the record store. Old school head shops where there were items being sold that you could not find any place else on earth. I don't know where the hell they got them, but these only existed in head shop record stores. They were like spontaneously grew out of the tile or something. I don't know. But you would make a pilgrimage to go to these record stores. And that was one of my things. I had to have Motorhead albums. I had to have Motorhead albums. And you couldn't get those in Devil's Lake. And so whenever there was a new Motorhead release or anything, 90-minute car ride all the way to North Dakota, we'd all pile in, and all of us kids that were like into metal and rock and roll and things like that, we'd pick out our best heavy metal t-shirts. Do I look right? Yeah. Do I look rock and roll enough? Yeah, I look rock and roll enough to go to the record store, because you couldn't go to that record store unless you looked cool. That was the rule. You had to be cool enough to walk in the door. It's like they would have a security guard or something there. No, I'm kidding. But it would be an event to go to the record store. So there would be like the pilgrimage to go there, and you'd save up all your money and buy as much music and things like that as you could.
That said, we are getting to towards when we end this show, unfortunately.
There's an end to this show? Oh.
Yeah, there is.
I do apologize.
It's okay.
Hold on, Ozma. We can continue a bit longer.
Well,
I can't.
I mean, it's not like... I have everything nice and scheduled out, and this is how... It's just like... It's like scheduling D&D.
Okay.
It's...
Okay. Do you want to do a quick rapid fire Q&A?
Oh, I was going to do I usually do shout outs to everybody so they can promote certainly. Their stuff. I usually start with Perfict because he's the easiest and the fastest.
Simple.
Perfect.
Yes,
where can people find you?
You're like the owl. I want to hand you like a Tootsie Pop and ask you how many licks. But anyway, that's okay.
That's a loaded question in this crap.
It could be.
So that's about it. This is the Rumpus Room.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll just go up in the order I feel like
Discord
it. Just
channel,
So I'm last. Sophia, where can people find you?
Well, Twitter at Sophia Botha 74. I'm also working on something with Tempest, funny enough, but I'll talk about that at some other day.
Okay. Tempest, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? That's a trick question. Now, if you're an adult and you're over 18, you can Google me, Tempest TS Rockdoll, and you can find me. But you will find a lot of me. So please make sure no children in the room.
Yes.
And make sure you're prepared to see what you want to see. You can also find me on Facebook as Tempest Crane, TS Rockdoll on Twitter. You can find me on OnlyFans and my own website, tsrockdolls.com.
Okay. Christy, where can people find you?
Okay. I have my own channel, Christy Abbey, which is spelled just like it is on this thing. I also have Chris Abbey Music, which is without the TY, because it's an old thing and there's lots of my boy videos still up. And I'm on Facebook at Christy L. Abbey, which is like Christy Abbey with an L in it. And I am now on Twitter at Christy L. Abbey, which is one word with an L in it. It's my middle name is
That's why the L not.
When my middle name is Lon. My middle name is Londra. It's a thing.
Okay.
Nope, I can't announce that yet. Damn. I'm waiting. I have 2 projects in the works with other people, so I can't announce until they do. And my own channel goes back up soon.
Okay.
I don't know when soon. Soon. I just got back from Portland, and boy, am I, boy is my hippie tired.
Fair.
So, but it's and Delta broke my guitar. I'm saying that out loud on a thing that's not monetized anyway, so they can't pull their advertising.
Haha! Take that, Delta. Anyways, is that it?
Probably not, but I'm every. Oh, I also have Chris Abbey Music on Facebook, which hasn't been updated in a year or so. Suspicious Human has reformed, which is my band, and we have a website somewhere that I've seen it, but I don't know.
Google is your friend.
Yeah, Google is your friend.
Google is your friend. Suspicious Human, and someday I'll tell the story. I'll tell the story of how that name came about, because it's really neat.
Okay. And by the way, we are going to jump into the just doing the shoutouts first, then might as well just jump into super quick Q&A, just cause. But Wednesday I won't be able to stream the show because I have something going on Twitch, which nobody watches. But on Tuesday, they're doing a TBC release for classic World of Warcraft, and me and some of the guild members are going to be trying to level as fast as possible. So, and I'm going to stream it on Twitch because so that'll be like an 18-hour stream probably. And I will be streaming as my character Brightmore, who's on Grobulus server in World of Warcraft Classic, which a lot of trans people are on, but also a lot of KKK and Nazis. So we are one of the trans-friendly guilds. So no, the Grobulus got in the news for a KKK simulation. Bullshit. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but like it got in the news for racism. The server that I randomly went on, the RP PvP server. But anyways, that's beside the point. OzmaInTheDark.com, talking to nothing on Twitter. Like I mentioned, I'll be on Twitch as soon as World of Warcraft Classic releases. The TBC, the Burning Crusade, releases on Twitch on Tuesday, and other stuff will happen. My life's a bit of a mess. So, how do Q&As work?
We're pushing it. Let's just give our answers. Because it seemed like the good thing to do at the time. Your answer, Sophia?
Okay, Tempest.
No. Just give the answers. Don't ask questions. What's
Wait.
your answer?
Wait.
I know. I was going. She wanted to ask questions. She wanted to answer.
You're totally missing the point of this exercise.
Christy is like trying to spin this into like, sarcastic humor, and so it's like trying to play it straight. Well, won't use straight, but anyway. What about the question?
Okay, Tempest. Caitlyn Jenner or dose of hemorrhoids?
Okay, each one of us will ask you a question, Tempest. That way we'll wrap it up quick.
Okay. So, Sophia, what was your question again?
Caitlyn Jenner for governor or a dose of hemorrhoids?
Well, I'll take hemorrhoids. You can take a cream and that'll go away.
Perfect.
Okay. So, who else has got a question for me?
Oh.
Caitlyn Jenner or Donald Trump?
Oh, God.
Wait. What was that?
Caitlyn Jenner or Donald Trump?
Oh, my God. Well, lesser of two evils, I'm going to go with Jenner, but, that's...
Yeah.
Would you like to lose your left hand?
So there is a point where you will.
Yeah, but like hemorrhoids versus Jenner is like an easy choice.
Can I go for hemorrhoids again? Is that a choice still? I'll have hemorrhoids twice rather than have either one of them.
You can have orange hemorrhoids instead.
Okay.
You can have a substitution.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'll take 2 cases of hemorrhoids instead of either one of them. All right.
If I want, okay, I can ask the most evil question.
It's
ending up in the music industry or transitioning. I realize you've done both, but if you had, you were forced into a situation to choose.
What was the choices again?
Transitioning or be in the music industry. The most evil question I could think of. I'm sorry. Obviously, you don't need to choose.
That's a tough one because it's like being in the music industry involves rebellion, which means I would find a way to transition anyway.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly what I did.
Okay.
So I would stick with rock and roll, and I would find a way to sneak transitioning in later, whether you like it or not. So go ahead.
Okay, that's a fair point. Christy.
Okay. All right, I'm going to ask a silly one. So, since I dedicated this episode to Candy Darling, she was from Long Island. Why did Lou Reed say she was from Miami?
Because it rhymed.
Was that the question? Give that to me again. I think I missed the question of the question.
Candy Darling was from Long Island, and yet Lou Reed's song says she came from Miami FLA. Why? One of those things.
Maybe he didn't have an atlas. I'm not sure. Maybe he needs a map.
I just wanted
geography lesson.
I wanted to put a Candy Darling in here because I dedicated the show.
Oh, you're just yeah, you shoehorned a dedication in there, which is actually a good thing because
it's in there. It's in there. Candy Darling, Candy Darling, Candy Darling. And
Yes.
just when you throw this up on YouTube or wherever, like stick that in the description.
Well,
no explanation. Just put it in there.
It's live on YouTube, so the better thing to do is to leave a comment. Just Candy Darling, no explanation whatsoever. Just write it in the comments.
So this is live streaming. Okay, request out there. Everybody that's watching, do me a favor. I will love you forever. So this might hurt a little bit, but leave the comment. Candy Darling, Candy Darling, Candy Darling. Love you all.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Your voice matters, your life
Please.
matters, and you matter. Everybody,
Yes.
have a good. See you next week.